Zac Taylor with some interesting comments about pressure, about the 4-9 Bengals, and possibly his future. Also, the latest on Shemar Stewart, T. Higgins, and much, much more right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Look, it's the holidays. We appreciate you. We're grateful for you. We know this season hasn't gone the way a lot of you had hoped, assuming you're a Bengals fan watching this. And I get it. It's painful. But stick with us. We're going to give you the best Bengals info. And if you're looking for more, of course, check out BengalsTalk.com. I'm here at Paycor Stadium in the news conference room right before Joe Burrow talks on Wednesday. And we'll see what Joe says. Obviously, we'll have that for you. But some interesting comments today from Zac Taylor. And a lot of times I get, well, you need to ask Zac Taylor why the hell he thinks he deserves a job. And I get it. I understand the frustration. That's also not how I can do my job. That's not a good way to do it. My job is to try to get answers. And I had a nice back and forth, I thought, with Zac Taylor. I asked him how challenging this season has been for him. I know he knew that the changes he made to his coaching staff added pressure on him. He entered this season with pressure, and so now 4-9, their first losing season since 2020, 4-9, a 3% chance to make the playoffs, only 27% if they win out. He's aware of that, believe me. And so how challenging has it been for Zac Taylor this season? This was a nice back and forth with a couple of another question, another follow-up after it. Again, I asked Zac how challenging this year has been.
Every season is unique. It's got its own challenges. It's got its own ups and downs. I just take it week to week, and now we're focused on Baltimore and trying to find a win and really want to win this game to get ourselves a little bit of momentum before the next one. But every season's a challenge in its own ways. Even when your record is flipped from what it is now, there's still challenges and adversity you're going to face. And our guys are eager for this one. You can feel the energy level still really good in the building, and expect it to go play well on Sunday.
Anytime you're asked about pressure, you say no one puts more pressure on you than you. When were you able to kind of tune out the outside noise, especially during challenging seasons like this record-wise?
Oh, I don't think that's something that just happens now. I mean, that's your whole life gets you ready for that. So I enjoy pressure. I enjoy adversity. It's nothing that scares us or makes us nervous. It's part of why you're in this profession, is doing challenging things and doing things you don't think everybody can do. And so we work really hard, even when it's tough, and even when it looks bleak, to find the silver lining and keep working through it and find a way to win. And those are some of your greatest moments when you face a lot of challenges and you come through it. And so we embrace that. It's not something we let get us down. It's frustrating when you don't win. It's frustrating when you're in close games. Yeah, it's the amount of work we put in and the expectations we have for ourselves, that's really hard when it doesn't go your way. But it doesn't change the fact that you got to wake up Monday morning and the Ravens are coming to town. And so you got to find a way to win.
One thing that a lot of people that probably didn't follow me back when I did this, but in 2020 for BengalsTalk.com, I wrote that the Zac Taylor experiment had run its course, that it was time to move on, that it was time to go in another direction. Obviously, he responded by getting that year they played out that third year, and he led them to Super Bowl 56 and everything that came with it, and that's why he's still here. And he's in the second to last year of his contract. He's under contract through 2026. But I wrote that, and I believe I waited until about this time of year, and Joe Burrow was obviously hurt and everything that came with that. I'm not there yet with Zac. I don't know what they're going to do. I will say this. I'm not making a move just to make a move. And so what's the plan? You better have a plan. The last thing I want is this ownership group and everything that comes with the Bengals to go into a coaching search that would be pivotal to Joe Burrow's, I don't want to say final legacy here in Cincinnati, but a big part of his legacy, his prime years, go into it without a real idea of who they're going to get, why they're going to get them, why that guy is perfect for the job. So I'm not there yet with Zac. I'm open to it. I'm going to wait and continue to watch and diagnose and do all of those things. I try to be more patient, I would say, now than when I started covering the team a few years ago at the level that I do now for BengalsTalk.com. But the thing that I think is interesting about this is this could go a bunch of different ways. They could play out 2026 with Zac and not give him an extension. they could somehow magically make a playoff run here with Zac over the final 4 weeks. They could go 0-4 over the final 4 weeks and not respond to Zac. And so that's why I wanted to ask him, like, all right, well, how challenging has this year been? Because they're 2-4 in one-score games. If you flip that, they're 4-2. Well, then we're talking about a completely different team, completely different hopes and chances and all of those things. That hasn't happened. And so how does he treat this, and how much of it does he feel? I thought those answers were interesting. I get it. A lot of you listening or watching are going to be like, fire him. Fine, I get it. But I'm going to wait and see a little bit longer. And the other part of this is Mike Vrabel was a guy behind the scenes last year. I was like, well, if you could get him, well, great. I don't know who that is this year yet. And so that's another factor here when it comes to the pressure on Zac Taylor. And I do think there should be pressure, and I do think they need to show something here over the final 4 weeks of the season. So we'll see if they do. Speaking of the final 4 weeks, a big storyline that I'm hoping is a big storyline is Shemar Stewart. You're going to get the latest on Shemar Stewart and much, much more coming up next. Today's show is brought to you by Chubbies. Look, everybody wants to be comfortable. You also want to look stylish. You also want to stay warm. The frigid temperatures of Cincinnati have certainly overtaken this winter, have overtaken the Queen City, and that's where Chubbies comes in. Chubbies has the pants, the flannel jackets, accessories, anything in between, and obviously if you're a Bengals fan, and most of you are if you're watching this or listening to this, you got to check them out at chubbyshorts.com because they have awesome Bengals gear, and if you use promo code James, you're going to get 20% off. So what better way to do it than right now? The holiday right around the corner. I get it. Snow in the forecast in Cincinnati. Stay warm, look stylish, and take advantage of this right now by going to chubbyshorts.com and use promo code James for 20% off. Again, that's chubbyshorts.com. Use promo code James. Man, oh man, you're not going to regret it. From Bengals gear to any and everything you're looking for this holiday season, Chubby Shorts has it. Again, chubbyshorts.com. Promo code James. Bengals defensive end Shemar Stewart back at practice, had a knee brace on his left knee on Wednesday. It sounds like there's a real chance he could play on Sunday. He's going to get extensive work on Thursday during practice. Zac Taylor mentioning that ahead of Wednesday's session, that, yeah, you get him back out there Wednesday. Thursday is going to be a big day. It's their longer practice. And then you see where they're at. And so big day, big week for Shemar Stewart. I think, man, oh man, if you could get him back, get him valuable reps. We've seen it with Myles Murphy. We've seen it with Joseph Osai, but specifically Myles Murphy. Those snaps, that experience, that is valuable. And for a guy like Shemar, I want him getting a ton of snaps, regardless of playoffs, regardless of future, regardless of anything like that, when it comes to like how you viewed him as a prospect and what your outlook is for him. I think regardless, you should want him on the field so he can get snaps. Those are going to be valuable. Obviously, they picked him 17th overall. There's no time machine or anything like that. It's the same thing with Demetrius Knight and Barrett Carter. Like, yeah, they've been bad. At this point, at 4-9, get them out there and see if they can do something, right, and salvage what's been a rough rookie year for those two guys. Shemar is not in the same camp for me. At the same time, you certainly need to see something over the final month. I hope he's out there. That is big news. Also, T. Higgins was very limited, and I'm told didn't stay for the entire practice, but walked into practice, was at practice early on, had his helmet in hand, and so that's worth noting for sure. He's in concussion protocol still. I would be surprised if he played this week. We'll see. I'd be surprised if he played on Sunday after suffering at least what I believe is a second concussion. We haven't confirmed that. He's in the protocol, so I would imagine that's what happened against the Buffalo Bills. He landed multiple times, pointed to his head the one time, cleared protocol multiple times during the game, and then reported symptoms on Sunday night and into Monday morning, which is not shocking for anyone that watched. So I hope they play it safe with T. If they do, obviously that means Mitch Tinsley. Obviously that means more Andre Yosevich. Maybe Charlie Jones will get some opportunities. And so we'll see there. For the Ohio State fans out there, the Bengals did sign Xavier Johnson to the practice squad today. The former Ohio State Buckeyes receiver hasn't been on a team this year, hasn't been on a practice squad this year. Today was his first session, homecoming for him. He went to Summit High School here in Cincinnati. So cool to see that. Overall, though, we talked about Jermaine Burton. If you missed it on Enter the Jungle, make sure you check that out and check out everything we had. I had plenty of thoughts on Joe Burrow. By the way, Joe Burrow, 29 years old today. 29 years old. Tick, tick, tick. When I think about Zac Taylor's future, when I think about this organization, got to find a way now. Got to find a way. And that's where it is. That's where that conversation starts, is how do you get Joe Burrow in position? to keep that championship window open, because right now, let's be honest, it's closed. We're going to have you covered all week long here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, go to chubbyshorts.com/James. Also, do me a favor, check out bengalstalk.com as well. Until next time, for Andrew Fox-Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Cincinnati Bengals Talk.